The year is 2005, even though it looks like 2002, cause everything looks so shitty. Out in an unspecified area of the Middle East, because it's all the fucking same to us, a terrorist leader, Habib, is planning to do some nasty stuff. Like, real nasty stuff. Super bad stuff. Badly. He and his followers are the oppressed few, a group who all share the name Habib, a name that is slowly dying out due to modern trends. Last year, only one child was christened with the name Habib, and this is just the beginning of the Habib Holocaust. Now, he and his army of 10,000 Habibs are going to take the Middle East by storm. And the only ones who can stop them are the Stealth Force. Okay, that's not actually the plot to this game. I just made my own up since the original plot is so generic and lacking in names, places. Basically the who's, what's, when's, where's and why's are just not answered, so I just made up my own plot. Anyway, today we're talking about a new brand of shittiness called Stealth Force, the War on Terror. Now just look at this cover art. Look at it. This is a holy grail of shit. I am humbled by this thing's shittiness. I mean, just look at the quality of the image. Look at it. Just, wow. Seriously, like, they just ripped that from Google, I guess. Maybe. Who knows. The point is, and it's clearly not the right resolution, but anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. The point is, it's kind of weird that they did this. I think they only did this in the European release, although I have seen PAL copies of Stealth Force, the War on Terror, on Amazon, which actually have the copy that I've seen, which looks a bit like that. Yeah, it looks a bit generic, but it looks a bit more professionally done. The back of the box also indicates that that's probably what it would have looked like. They just couldn't be bothered fucking up the back of the box, so they just left it as is. Your guess is as good as mine why they had to change it. So this is made by Midas Interactive, who are just one up from Phoenix Games, so basically, to sum up what this is what Call of Duty 4 would look like if it was made on the PS2 by Midas Interactive. I have been dying to make this for so long now, and my chance has finally come. So the game starts off with you being dropped in Parishka, and at first I actually thought that they did some research and based this on a real life place, like this was a village that actually existed, but no, this village doesn't exist. In fact, it's a Google whack, so there you go. My mission is to infiltrate this fictional village and rescue the fictional doctor from fictional Britain and have her fictional ass brought to the fictional extraction point. It's here that we are introduced to our two main characters, the yellow terrorist from Time Crisis, who I actually always wanted to know his origin story, and also a Tesco value version of Autocon, who I guess we'll call Weeaboo-con. Anyway, it's interesting to note that only 2 characters in this entire game have names in this piece of shit. And neither of them are the main characters. There's the Doctor, she has a name, and an arms dealer has a name. So, that's it. Seriously, that's the only 2 names in the entire game. Right, so anyway, the game starts off and... Christ! I'm sorry, this came out in 2005. 2005! Like, this came out the same year as Area 51, for fuck's sake. Okay. Alright, fine. I know, it's on a budget. It probably had to steal most of its texture from Half-Life. Maybe the original Quake as well. Let's just move on. Okay, so you dumped into the game, and there's no tutorialization. Like most brilliant games, there's no instructions as to what buttons do what, and you kind of have to figure out pretty much everything on your own. Great. Just great. Fortunately for everyone, it's pretty standard for a PS2 FPS, but I still often found myself forgetting what certain buttons did even late in the game. Right, time to do what the Stealth Force does best. Stealth Force, nobody move! As you can probably tell by now, this game is a fucking bitch to be accurate with. Like, even the game can't even play itself. Damn, that sounds wrong. Well, anyway, I am not kidding around here when I say that I am trying to aim this shot the best I can. Like, it's harder than aiming a gun in real life. You could blow my Uncle Phil's head off and pick all the brain and skull fragments off of your suit in the time that it takes to kill one enemy in this game. Not that I'm speaking from personal experience, but you know. You know one thing that I find kind of funny though? Despite the fact that this is the worst FPS that I've played, I think, that I can think of, I still think it's an FPS, unlike Call of Duty, which I do not class as a first-person shooter. That's actually pretty sad. Mainly because you can strafe around shots, and you actually get to avoid the bullets as they slowly fly towards you. Yeah, that is actually another thing I want to bring up. Bullets are strangely really slow. It's like the Matrix. Each bullet takes around 1 or 2 seconds to actually hit you. I mean, Christ, imagine assassinating somebody in this universe. You'd have to shoot the bullet at them when they're like 12, and hopefully then you'll hit them by the time they're 50, assuming that they don't move by the time they age that far in their lives. Another thing that really amazes me is the reload animation. Did you know that all you have to do to reload your weapon is pull the latch back? Think about all them idiots tossing magazines aside and all that shit when all they had to do with that simple shit. Okay, so as I plough through the first level, I quickly realise that I've been hit a number of times, but it's not until I die for the first time that I notice that I have a health bar. Wait, that's supposed to be a cross? It looks more like a blobby circle. Well, I guess it's partially my fault for being such an idiot, but it would have been nice for them to tell me what my health bar looks like before the game starts. You know, just a GUI to tell me. Anyway, as I mentioned, I died, and guess what? That sends me right back to the bloody bastard beginning. Yep, it's one of those games. You die, you go back to the start menu. Fuck you. I love it when it makes me think that I'm in the late 90s instead of the early 2000s when it comes to the game design. I really hate games that pull this crap, in case you haven't noticed. Couldn't it have just taken me back to the start of the mission? Instead I have to load my save or just press new game. I mean, it'd take just as long. If you make it past level 1, this isn't as much of an issue, but Why can't it just restart the level? Why does it have to take you back to the main menu and make you wait 5 minutes to try again? You also have to watch all the cutscenes, which are unskippable. Lovely. In fact, this is 2005. Why aren't there checkpoints? Time Splitters had checkpoints. Area 51 had checkpoints, even though they were fucking brutal. Half-Life, you could make your own on the PS2, and that came out 4 years before this. So why can't you here? Nah, fuck it. I get inside the abandoned hospital, and I finally discovered that another one of this game's many flaws is the god-awful lighting. As in, you can't see shit at some points. I know that this is meant to be at night, and it's also a stealth game, in the same sense that a window is supposed to be a brick wall, but you'd think that the darkness would be your friend. Well, as established, this is not a stealth game. I mean, you know, like in Far Cry and Kane and Lynch, when enemies immediately know where you are the second that you alert one of them? Well, this is nothing like that. While stealthing around a no-stealth zone, enemies will immediately, without you getting caught, without you being seen, if you are in their radar, they will immediately know where you are. Even if you're on sneak mode on the far side of the map, it doesn't matter. Not only that, but they can also shoot you from the other side of the map with a shotgun, sporting pinpoint accuracy and taking you out before you can snipe them. Any stealth game where a guy with a sniper who has the element of surprise can die by being shot from afar with a close or medium ranged weapon is not a stealth game. It's a piece of shit. And B, I can't see shit, so how would this be an advantage to me? So, after 3 fucking bastard attempts, I finally reached the doctor's office, where... Oh, thank God bullets can distinguish between friend and foe in this game, because I sure as fuck can't. Right, so I saved Dr. Lady, and okay, look Doctor, I know you want to help, but this isn't Tales from the Borderlands, okay? That's not going to fucking work, right? Well, anyway, I get to the roof, and I'm saved by a helicopter. Job done. So the next mission, I'm dropped in Prishka again, a different part of it, which still doesn't exist, by the way. And this time, I'm required to do some stealthing in Stealth Force, the War on Terror. Holy shit! Well, don't fret, this is a stealth zone, which means I can actually walk up to these clueless twats and shoot them in the back of the head, and they don't even react. Whatever. Better than the alternative, I guess. It would be ideal if you could have a melee weapon of some description, like a knife, sort of like in Counter-Strike. But sadly, none is provided on this stealth mission. But you do get a shotgun, the weapon of choice for most operatives around the globe. I imagine most ninjas using them.
Sneak mode activated!
So, after taking out 3 guards, I finally reached the end of the stealth element of the game. Yeah, despite its title, this game's stealth is virtually non-existent. I've literally done a lot. Time to get my shotgun out. So I arrive at this palace place, and the first thing that I need to do is to blow the fuck out of these ammo stockpiles. Well, after executing these 2 arseholes for hiding behind them. This looks like a nice spot for boom. You know what the best way is to capture a room full of flammable objects? Just open fire on it and hope that you don't hit anything flammable. Right, so then after Habib D and Habib Dum come in, no idea what significance they have to anything, really. No, really, you see them walk in and that's it. So I'm guessing they just wanted to get away from everything so they could go fuck in a storage closet, I don't know. Here, we exchange Christmas gift now. So I finally catch up to Habib, the arms merchant that is, just in time for the ammo dumps to blow up, and I managed to kill everyone in the arena who isn't armed.
Woo, go me!
Ugh, I need to get out of here before he targets me for not having a gun. And then I get myself killed and have to do everything again from the beginning.
Fucking
Ah, you will never kill me. Ah, yeah, that should do it. I just love the ineptitude of this cutscene. Not only does he pick up and throw a human being like he would a ragdoll. But he also just sort of stands over him and rams the butt of his gun at his face. But then he stops, but then just holds the shot. And it takes them ages to fade to black. Like, I know it's common for them to do this so that, you know, they don't have to animate the whole thing. But you don't hold the shot for 4 or 5 seconds before fading to black. That just makes it too obvious that you were too lazy to animate everything else. We then cut to... Actually, we need a name for our hero, don't we? Okay, so we cut to Agent Leslie. Yeah, that has a nice ring to it. Agent Leslie. And he's driving along the mountain region. And Weeaboo-Con tells him that, well, he apparently needs to do some recon. But in the same sentence, he says that he needs to kill everyone in the process and then pull in an airstrike. But I'm confused. You do realise that you aren't supposed to kill people, or at least not many people, in a reconnaissance mission, right? Like, it's a fact-finding, a survey kind of dealy. So that you can plan an attack later. Do these people even know what words actually mean? Now, I'm no military expert or strategist, but just a thought, maybe if you're going to take out a terrorist training camp, you might want to send more than one guy. Maybe one more, maybe 2 more, but not just one guy. Okay, so this mission is pretty simple, to be honest. Well, apart from the fact that everyone gets blurry and there's constant ghosting. I think it's a visual effect, implying that there's some sort of sandstorm or something. But you can barely handle post-2000s graphics. What makes you think you can do weather effects? Speaking of the visuals, it's at this point in the game that the environments improve dramatically. Now, I know that it's all rock and sand, but that means that there's just so much less for them to fuck up. There's literally nothing here that they can fuck up, at least not visually anyway. So I arrive at this terrorist training camp, and it's at this point that I realise that mesh fences might as well be brick walls in this universe, since bullets can't travel through them, just like in real life. Oh, and guess what? We can't just call in the airstrike. No way, hoes. What we've got to do is we've got to go in there, kill everyone, and then call in the airstrike to bomb the now empty training camp. This is why I wouldn't make a good army general. Like an idiot, I'd just bomb the place, maybe have a sniper pick off any survivors. I wouldn't risk the one life of one of my highly trained operatives. The best operative that Britain, France, Poland, whoever has to offer, Agent Leslie. Okay, so I get inside and shoot everyone and finally reach this radio antenna building. I'm guessing that this is how they used to steal Sky TV. So I examine the camp, after killing everyone that is, to realise that half of this fucking place is empty anyway. Some of it's even sinking into the goddamn ground. These Elsa terrorists are lame. Couldn't they have gotten a pool table or some stripper poles or something?
I found a dishy! What happens when I put my finger in here?
This is Tango 906, deploying airstrike.
Wait, couldn't you wait, you twats?
There was no time, Leslie.
But the camp was empty.
Yes, we are aware of that, but we just fucking hate you, Leslie. Hope you die, bye.
Ah! Ah!
You know what? I take back what I said about endangering this guy's life. It seems that they're desperately trying to get him killed. Couldn't they have, at the very least, given him a head start before they blew up the entire training camp? Anyway, I then found out that the rebels' secret complex, where they apparently make nuclear bombs, is where this Asrif Mutov guy, the only dude who's important enough to have a name on this planet, is currently working. And he's making a homemade firework with a bit of nuclear spice. And it's up to Agent Leslie to save the day.
Come play with us, Leslie. Forever and ever and ever.
So I managed to find a heavy machine gun, but it's a glitched weapon that A, has the pussiest fire sound effect I've ever heard in a game, and B, this sound effect can get locked in an eternal loop. Well, I'm sure I can adjust.
I can't take this anymore!
I then encounter Azarith Mutov, cowering behind a nuclear bomb. And like most rational thinking people, I solve the problem by throwing a hand grenade at him. Oh Christ, get me out of here!
Hey! Grab this rope! Okay!
No, we will win.
No you won't, fuck you!
Oof my head! Right, so after resetting to get away from that infernal racket, I arrived in Mission 5, on the outskirts of a town called Utabata. Again, it doesn't exist. It's in this town that there's a palace being occupied by the tourists, and only Special Agent Leslie can stop them. Specifically him, and no one else. Go Habibs! Take back the promised land! Bring greatness back to our name! As I see the mass horde of Habibs on the horizon, I have to stop and ask, why am I doing this alone? Like, there's at least 50 people between me and God Emperor Habib, so why aren't I getting any semblance of help? Like, I'm somewhat unsure, but I'm 90% sure at the very least that more than one guy was sent to kill Bin Laden or Saddam, so why am I being shit on? Oh well, Agent Leslie never lets stupidity, no matter how potent, stand in his way.
Oh no, Habib is down!
Which Habib?
The one holding assault rifle.
But we're all holding assault rifles.
Shit, we should have had coordinates. We didn't think this through.
So, I finally find a way into the palace and... Wait. What? Let me back in! Damn you, Sky God! I'm gonna make a brew whilst I wait for the bullet to hit him. So I get back into the palace and this guy fires an RPG at me.
Ah! Al Habib! I'm coming for you!
Right, so I navigate the most overly confusing final layout I've ever encountered in a game. And as I do so, I realise that the guards downstairs are just kind of... Well, from the looks of it, they've completely forgotten about me. So I guess I gave them a reminder. Anyway, after 1 minute of searching, which, barring in mind this took about 10 minutes to do this mission, you should do the maths to see how long in the grand scheme of thing a minute is, I managed to corner the villainous Al-Habib, the leader of the Elsinian faction. I don't know what they're called. Oh bloody hell! Please do not shoot me. I surrender.
Okay.
Ha! Fuck you. I have furniture. And so, Agent Leslie and Al Habib have their final showdown. And after 2 shots with a sniper rifle, not even using the scope, Al Habib is no more. Our heroic Agent Leslie stands over the fallen tourist's corpse, proving that nobody throws a chair at Agent Leslie and lives to be a whiny bitch about it. Then he sort of waddles out of the palace, gets into a helicopter, and flies away, as fighter jets fly over for some reason. not bombing the place and pretty much wasting a load of fuel. The reason for doing so is beyond me, and that's the end of this epic tale. Not since Spec Ops The Line have I seen such a gripping war story as this. Not since Call of Duty 4 have I ever experienced such intense Middle Eastern warfare simulated for the maximum impact on the player, and never before have I laughed so goddamn hard whilst playing an FPS. Everything about this is horrendous. It's almost like a parody, it's so generic. It's so effortless, so badly put together that it actually reminds me a lot more of Duty Calls than Call of Duty. And for those of you who don't know, that was a joke game designed to mock Call of Duty to advertise Bulletstorm. But the point is that even that felt more like a game than this piece of shit. This is it's just horrendously awful. That's why I'd highly recommend it for a laugh. Just so you can see its ineptitude for yourself and experience it firsthand. Now, apparently over 100,000 copies of this piece of dog shit was sold, according to Midas Interactive's website. It warranted a sequel in 2008, apparently. I'm just surprised it took them that long. I mean, Midas don't really strike me as the quality over quantity type. They then say that the sequel was eagerly awaited. And I have to admit, I am eagerly awaiting to see what it looks like. I mean, it could be better, could be worse. I'm guessing worse. But I haven't found a single person ever who admitted to playing this piece of shit. On IGN, it gets an overall score of 0.2. And on Amazon, 2 people describe it as poor with Commodore 64 graphics. Yeah, seems about right. However, it's recommended as a boost for your coffee table. Again, seems about right. But one guy did give it 5 stars though, for looking good for its money, and for being an army game. Sorry, an army game. Both of which I can agree with. I don't have any other choice. I mean, this was a good game for £2.50, I guess. And it is an army game. I can't really argue with that logic at all. Huh. Well, guess that's it for me. Join me next time where there won't be war, but you can bet your ass there'll be terror. Terror that no other person would ever face.
Oh shit! I left my front door unlocked.